with the second, third, and fourth trials, they're in the group, and they tend to moderate, they tend to move towards the average, right? Right here, these people had very different impressions at first, and then they almost instantly go almost no difference, and then really no difference. Here, couple inches different when they're in different rooms, they're in the same room, they gravitate towards each other. This one's pretty stark as well. They actually are moving towards each other here, right? So normally they would settle on a personal standard and just keep saying it the whole way, but not. I'm enjoying this laser pointer. I know we're doing laser pointer, but not when they're in the group. They gravitate towards each other and stay there. So this is good evidence for conformity, right? You know, when you're on your own, you'll say what you think. When you're put in the group, you'll say the average of what the group thinks. Okay. What happens here, where you start in the group and then you're broken up into individual sessions? They assimilate to the group norm. They assimilate to one another, you know, across these three trials. Not that different than here, you know. They assimilate. And then when they're broken up into individual settings, what happens? Do they revert to like whatever they might privately think, or do they stick with the group norm? What do you see? They stick with the group norm. And this gives us a clue to the kind of influence that's happening in a Sharif setting. Because there's at least a couple kinds of influence. We'll go into more depth on this later in the lecture. But one kind of influence involves doing what other people are saying because you think they're right. And you're trying to figure out what the right answer is. And that seems to be what's happening here, right? They take the group away and you stick with what the group said, right? And so people seem to be genuinely convinced by the group on what the right answer is. But another kind of influence is the kind of influence where you go along with the group, even though you think you know better, but you're trying to curry favor with the group, or you're afraid of looking like an idiot, or you don't want to be embarrassed. And if that was the case here, you'd expect when they get to the end that they'll split off, right? And say, oh, I actually wanted to say 10 inches the whole time. Or here, I wanted to say 6 inches, this person wanted to say 0 inches. But no, they stick with the group because they're genuinely influenced. They really are adopting the group norm. So when you start with the individual judgment, you see this initial diversity and then congruence, or convergence, sorry. And when you start with a group, you see a quicker convergence because people never even entertained any kind of private opinion, and then it persists when individuals are separated. A question? The question is this just a consistency effect, cognitive dissonance theory, and so on, or the Cialdini commitment consistency chapter 3? Is this just a consistency effect? Well, while yes, this exhibits the pattern of consistency effect, if you look over here, it's not just about consistency, right? Because if you made your commitment alone in a room, cognitive dissonance theory would say you'll stick with it, right? And this conformity stuff doesn't matter. I mean, according to cognitive dissonance theory, it doesn't say anything about interaction with other people, social influence, conformity dynamics. It would say straight lines, you know, here, straight lines here, no difference. But we're talking about conformity, and so you put in conformity pressure, you get convergence, and you'll stick with it. So I would say no, it's pretty good evidence for a specific type of conformity. Okay, other questions? Yes, sir. So I planted this man in the audience to ask the exact question that begs, well, 2 slides from now. So yes. So the question was, this seems to be predicated on people not having a strong opinion, right? They pretty readily, I love this thing, they pretty readily adopt the group norm. I don't know if you need to use this, so whatever. Okay. They pretty quickly adopt the group norm, and then they stick with it because they have no strong opinion, right? You can't tell them if the thing is moving, you don't know, right? Is that 2 inches, 1 inch? If it was dark, you'd be even more confused. So yes, these effects, the strength of these effects seems to be predicated on the fact that people had no strong initial opinion. So yeah, excellent question. And the question was also, are there any examples where people do have a strong initial opinion and you still see conformity effects? We'll get to that next. Okay, some conclusions from the Sharif conformity experiment. First, individuals tend to establish a personal range of answers when run individually. That's not that interesting for conformity research, but it's a little bit interesting, I guess, for just understanding how people make judgments. Next, in groups, they tended to use the other members to establish that range. Because people are trying to figure out, I want to give a credible range of answers here, because this experimenter, you know, is expecting that, or I assume they are. And so you either rely on your own opinion or you rely on the group. Then the influence persists after individuals leave the group, and the takeaway is that in uncertain situations where you're not sure what your opinion is, group influence tends to be very high. I mean, really high, right? Like people don't have any individual difference in opinion in the group influence. In the individual group, they do have an individual opinion and they freely get rid of it. So ambiguity is high, conformity is very high as well. And in follow-up research, actually, there's a lot of follow-up research on the Sharif conformity setting. A lot of it's very interesting. My favorite, I'll just drop this one because I think it's kind of cool. It's a little bit of digression. My favorite follow-up to the Sharif experiment, they ran sessions like the individual group conditions like these, except they started to, after a few trials, substitute out people from the group. Like they take one of the people out, put a new person in. And I think they ran like 4-person sessions or something like that. So it was like 4 people. And what they were interested in is whether you could swap out everybody one by one and find that the group norm persisted, you know, because you're doing this gradual swapping. If you were to swap out everybody at once, they'd jump to like a whole different group norm, right? They go from like here to here, say, right? Because they're totally different people. They don't know what the group norm used to be. But if you take them out one by one and put in new people, you'll find the norm persists as the new people assimilate to the old norm. Does this make sense? So this is cool, right? This is kind of how culture works, right? Because social norms and culture can have longer lives than the individuals they inhabit, right? So like social norms that you obey may have been around for 100 years, 40 years, 400 years. And those norms are stronger than we are in a sense. They're gonna be taught to new people who will inherit them and enact them, and they'll live on past us. And so we're sort of like carriers for society. We're sort of like carriers for social norms and culture. And this research shows that, you know, that it's sort of this feasting on us. We don't live as long as a lot of the norms we obey, which is I think interesting. It's a nice demonstration of that. All right. And one thing you could call that like anachronistic norms. There are all these examples of norms that we obey, but we don't have any like good reason to obey them, or it's very strange why we obey them, and we don't know. You know, where they came from. So, you know, why is it that we, why is it, for example, that men's suits have that split down the back, you know? And the reason is men used to ride on horseback all the time, and so they needed to not tear the back of their suit jacket, right? Or why is it that Indians have a taboo on eating cows, right? Even though some anthropologists, or this is an anthropological theory, it's not true, but one theory says that that taboo came from the fact that it would have been really, really bad to kill cows because they were much more useful as pack animals for helping with agriculture, say 2,000 years ago. Now, maybe it'd be nice to have a hamburger. Yeah. Yes, sir. Or maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know. You're okay. This may have another theory about the Indian cow thing. So we'll talk about it. Okay. Like I say, it's an anthropological theory. Cultural materialists like Marvin Harris have a whole bunch of these, of theories of where contemporary norms and societies come from, like taboos on eating shellfish or eating cows and or eating pork. And you know, they might be true, they might not be. But the point is, probably some of those sort of explanations are true. That some of our norms we obey now, we obey because we could have inherited them, and their old functionality is lost. Yes. Christy, I know that. I was going to say that. Of anachronistic norms? Yes. One theory of why men there's a norm to carry your bride past the threshold on like wedding day and stuff, wedding night or whatever, is that it's like it goes back to like early Eastern Europe where women were not voluntarily getting married, and so you literally had to carry them over the threshold because they didn't want to be there. I don't know. It's a theory. I don't know that that's true, but it's cute, right? You kind of want to tell that to your friends, right? I do not necessarily endorse that theory. Also, that the best man, this is a whole set of possibly urban legends, possibly totally valid theories of marriage rituals. Another one is that best men, the reason we have best men is you needed help to abduct your bride. And in a way, I don't know the weddings you've been going to, but best men are still a little like that. Okay. So those are some, I don't know if those are true. Those could be apocryphal. Apocryphal. Okay, other questions? Okay, but anyway, that modification of the Sharif experiment, when they do the generational thing, is like a nice profound demonstration of how it is that norms can survive and move across people. And it also is just the insight that the way that human lives work, where we have overlapping generations, so like, a handful of us will die off every year and be replaced by new people, we have these overlapping lives like this, wherein we can teach the next generation these things, that is part of why society and culture is able to evolve and be passed on for so long. If we had full replacement somehow every 20 years, then everybody would forget everything and we wouldn't pass the stuff on. So it's an interesting insight. Okay. Let's talk about the Asch conformity experiment. So Solomon Asch is one of my favorite social psychologists, and he came along after Sharif, and he published this classic conformity study in 1951, and he was interested in whether people would conform to something that was contrary to fact, answering this man's question. And Sharif had purposely used this incredibly ambiguous setting, right? Because he wanted to show the extremes of group influence, that you would assimilate entirely to the group attitude in the presence of others. But Asch was like, okay, that's one kind of influence, that's one kind of conformity. But is that the whole story? Do we always exert this pattern where we conform and then stick with the group attitude because we didn't know the right answer. So I'm doing this again, I'm sorry. We didn't know the right answer, and we thought the group was right, and we actually revised our real opinion underneath. Is that the story? Or is it ever the case that maybe we conform when we know the right answer, and we just fake it? We just go along because we don't look like idiots in front of people. And what he did was he created a line judgment task that involved one participant and 8 confederates. Please be quiet back there. Yes, sir. Yes, you. Yes. Okay, so create a line judgment task involving one participant and 8 confederates. Very expensive study to run, right? You can't run studies like this very much because you have to pay 8 confederates for every one participant that you run. And what he did in the setting was, I'm using it, I love this thing. So he would show people a bunch of trials like this where there's these 3 comparison lines, and you're supposed to say which one of these 3 comparison lines this line is most similar to in length, or identical to in length. So it's a very simple task, right? Do you guys know the right answer to this one? Why are you guys messing with me? I'm in the Asch experiment now. That's very clever. Everybody's like, say, it's C, Rob. Well, of course it's C. I knew that. Okay, obviously the right answer is A. So in this setting, in this experiment, you're asked a bunch of questions like this. Incredibly easy. You know exactly what the right answer is, right? And what Asch wanted to create was a situation where the individual would face, possibly for the first time in his life, a situation in which a group unanimously contradicted the evidence of his senses. I love that. So nice. So what's he doing here? What is he doing? Well, what he's saying is that in everyday life, there's 2 kinds of conformity that are going on. There's a kind of conformity where you just don't know the right answer, and you go along with the group to try and get it right. And if the group went away, you keep saying that. Another kind of conformity is the kind where you obey the group because you don't look like an idiot. You want to be accepted in the group, and you're worried you'll be made fun of or sanctioned or silently judged. And these are different things, right? They're different things. If you were broken off into individuals after that, you would go back to saying probably what you really thought, and you would only go along with the group because you don't look like a fool. Christy, your question. What's it? They do. I'm going to get to that. It's going to be these 2 types of conformity do have different names, and you'll be so excited when I tell you in a few slides. Okay, so what he's doing here is he said, okay, so Sharif's already created a setting where you don't know the right answer, right? He created this very nice setting where you have no clue what the right answer is. You rely on the group to get it right. And that is an artificial setting we might not find in everyday life. It's highly ambiguous thing. I'm going to use experiments to create a very artificial situation where you know the right answer. You're sure what it is, and these people are telling you the opposite is the answer. He wants to create a situation in which a group unanimously contradicts the evidence of your senses. And note that he's not trying to be realistic in creating the setting, right? He's trying to make an artificial experiment that isolates an effect. He doesn't want to create a situation you've been in all the time in your life. He wants to create this situation for the first time in your life that tests exactly his idea, that people will go along with the group even if they know the group as well. Okay, so what happens? Sorry about that. Okay, what happens? On several trials, the group unanimously picks the wrong line, right? So they'll say, like what you all were saying to me, they'd say C, for example, in this one. And the task, totally unambiguous participants, when they were run individually and shown a bunch of trials like this, they always got the right answer, or essentially always got the right answer. They made errors less than 1% of the time. But on 18 of the trials, on 12 of the 18 trials, they did 18 of these questions, and on 12 of those trials, the 8 confederates would all say the wrong answer. And that would be a good test of conformity, right? It's a situation where your private opinion is different from what the group is telling you is right. So what happened? On these 12 critical trials out of 18 total trials, participants, on average, made 3.4 errors across those 12 trials. Are they errors in the sense they got it wrong? They may feel like they had good reasons to do it. What Asch also found, in addition to finding this kind of surprisingly high level of conformity, where a third of the time, when you're doing this trial, where you know the right answer, but the group's saying the opposite, you fall in line with the group and say purposely the wrong thing. In addition, he found individual variance, right? He found a lot of individual variance. So individuals range from 0 errors to 11 errors out of 12. About like half of people, I think, got 0 errors. Mike, do you remember? Like half of people? Yeah, so like half of people didn't conform at all, and about half of people conformed to some extent, and they conformed, to a wide range of degree of conformity, from 1 out of 12 to 11 out of 12 trials. So one thing I want to do whenever we have these big experiments is sort of reflect on the person versus the situation debate. Okay, so if life was all about personality and situations didn't matter, then you couldn't line up 8 people to tell you to do something that was contrary to what you privately thought. And you could do that, but you wouldn't conform. You wouldn't fall in line with what they're saying, right? Because what you privately think, you're going to express that, right? So here you see the power of the situation, right? The situation is weighty. It leads you to go from 1% errors to 32% errors. That's a big difference. This big, powerful situation where these people are looking at you, giving the wrong answer, you'll tend to conform. It moves up your conformity, your error rate, 31%, right? But we're also seeing that individuals still matter, right? Half these people don't care. Well, they maybe care, but they're not falling in line with group judgment. They're not conforming. The other half are conforming to one extent or another. And there's one guy who's conforming on 11 of 12 trials who has no integrity. Okay. I feel bad. That guy's probably still alive. Okay. So he had lots of integrity. It was just a tough situation. So here's some examples of what people said. They were interviewed afterwards because Asch was interested in, like, what's going on in your head, or what will you say is going on in your head. One nonconformist said, I can't help it. That's 1. He's giving the answer 1, 2, 3. Which comparison line is it? And he's saying, I can't help it. That's 1. He's apologizing for giving what he knows is the right answer, right? Another one is, he's like, look, you all are probably right, but you may be wrong, and then gives the right answer. So these people are apologizing. They're rationalizing their nonconformity. They're trying to explain to these other 8 people why it is that they're contradicting them. 8 people go, you got to go, and you're going to contradict all of them because you just don't see it that way, and you make apologies for your honesty, really. A conformist said, if I'd been first, I probably would have responded differently, right? So he admitted, I'm falling in line with the group norm. And then this is what he said afterwards when interviewed. And then another one said, the answer with such confidence, I felt like I had to fall in line with the group norm. And a lot of people reported that they thought some kind of illusion was at work, where for some reason they couldn't see the right answer, but the other 8 people could. And we'll talk more about that. Oh yeah, so which of these people do you think is the subject? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that, you can imagine being that guy, right? Like these guys, they're acting all nonchalant. This guy looks like the Fonz from Happy Days. That guy looks like, I don't know, like my father's yearbook picture. And this guy's just like, what the hell is going on? So Asch classified the reactions that people gave afterwards into 3 categories. 1, distortion of perception. There were some people that reported that they saw what the majority saw. Okay, so some people are saying, I saw, line 3 as being the right answer. Okay, so that's why I said line 3. Okay, don't give me a hard time. So in these, Asch concludes, these people actually distorted what they saw because the 8 people told them this answer. Another category of reaction, distortion of judgment. People decided that their perceptions were inaccurate. Okay, they knew that they saw this one line to be different, or to be the right line, and then they heard everybody else say something different. So they decided, yes, I'm seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm going to give it an answer because there's something wrong in between. I don't really understand this class of reaction. But whatever. And then a third group reported distortion of action. That they knew the group was wrong, but they didn't want to seem different from the group. So there's three classes here. Some people are saying, I saw that answer the way I reported. I'm not lying. I'm nothing. These people must have just affected the way I perceived it. The other ones are saying, no, I perceived the opposite of what I said, but I decided to make a different judgment because everybody else seemed to say something else. And then another group is like, no, I knew exactly what was going on. I knew they were wrong, and I just fell in line. And actually, most people said distortion of perception after the study, and not that many people said distortion of action. Okay, so let me ask you this question: do you believe them? I don't either. It would be interesting to rerun the study. I mean, the thing is, you can never really ask people, right? There's no way to really run the study that I know of and get it right. I mean, you could have them, rather than be interviewed, you could have them write something down and then not attach their name to it, and maybe they would tell you the truth. But I don't think there's really a way to really know. I don't know. There's clever experimental design. But it'd be nice to know the real answer of like whether these people really saw what the group was telling them they ought to see, or if, which is my guess, they pretty much everybody was in the third category, where they knew the group was wrong, and they just lied to go along with the group. That's my guess. As long as everybody was in that category, and they were just ashamed to say it, right? Because especially in American culture, there's this major stigma against not being like an individual and not saying your sincere actual judgment. It's not as much the case in other cultures, but in our culture, even in the 50s, there's a stigma against just going along with the group for no good reason. Okay, so let's take like a 3-minute break, and then we'll get back to the lecture after that. Talk amongst yourselves. Do you friends?
So, following, of course, this people